What's up, YouTube world? This is Michael Tavon, and I'm back with the worst songs by Michael Jackson, Part 2. Honestly, when I made the first one last year, I had no clue I would be making a second one, just simply because it's just not something I planned to do. But because so many people are in the comments asking me why I didn't cover the pre-Off the Wall albums as well as his posthumous albums. First of all, I didn't cover the posthumous albums, if I'm saying that correctly. I always have trouble with that word for some reason. But I typically don't listen to albums by artists after they have passed away for so many different reasons. One is just, to me, it feels unethical to release something after an artist dies, especially if that artist themselves never specifically said those songs or books or whatever the case may be could be put out. It's different with acting, obviously, but when it comes to music and literature, it really kind of bothers me that people can have the power to put out something the artist themselves never okayed. Firm in my belief that I would never listen to Michael and Xscape, but because so many people ask, I finally did that. So I would love to share my thoughts on that, as well as my favorite songs and my least favorite songs, as well as the albums before Off the Wall. But one thing I'm not going to do is cover Blood on the Dance Floor. Like, guys, just get over it.
Shut the fuck up, nigga.
To me, that's not a real album. It had, 5 original songs on there, I believe. So why would I spend time covering a remix album? I don't even care about remix albums, to be honest with you. That's just me. No matter the artist at all, I don't care for remixes. So let's get right into it with the very first Michael Jackson album of all time.
Let's go.
Ben, the two of us need to look no more. Ben, the very first solo album by the one Michael Jackson. This quickly proved that he was able to hold his own without his brothers as a solo artist. Even though the material overall on this album had a lot lacking, but I completely understand because this is a solo album for a child in the 70s. So people weren't making freaky songs for kids back then like they were in the 90s, but that's a different conversation. The songs that stood out to me were obviously Ben, People Make the World Go Round, because it really showed the early heart of young Michael Jackson as he sung about social issues, socio-political type of conversations that people had around the time about people judging others and how at the end of the day, we are the people who make the world go around. Another one of my favorites was Everybody's Somebody's Fool. Overall, the album was okay. I really didn't care for the My Girl cover. I also like What Comes Around Goes Around as well. But the other material just was kind of like, whatever. I don't really care if I don't listen to these songs again. And matter of fact, side note, for the people who keep attacking me saying that I am not a real Michael Jackson fan if I don't listen to these albums, let's be freaking real with yourselves. It's in the first video, you guys attacked me for getting a date wrong between the Triumph album and the Off the Wall album. You know dates and you know when things were released.
Whoop they do.
Just because you know these things does not make you a bigger fan of Michael Jackson than anybody. I'm sorry I'm rambling, but it really, really bothered me when people were attacking me saying that I'm not a real fan because I don't know all of these things by heart. First of all, ever since I decided to be a creative in 2009 after MJ died, I decided to pour all of my fandom and my inspiration on the internal. Michael Jackson inspires me to be a better person and a better artist. So forgive me if I don't know the exact dates or the exact fucking songs or track list of every fucking album that he ever dropped. Get over yourselves. And mind you, I'm pretty sure the people who were attacking me don't listen to these first albums either. So I'm off it. Okay, on to the next album. Now we have the second solo album by young MJ. Got to be there in the morning. Oh man, overall, my thoughts on this album is that it's fire actually. The one thing I don't like is the fact that they added In Our Small Way, which was on the first album, and I did not like the song on the first album, and I definitely don't like it on the second album. I actually hate this song more on the second album than the first album because this album is so good. It starts off with the cover Ain't No Sunshine, and Michael Jackson sung this song like he was a 60-year-old man going through his third heartbreak in life. It's just insane how he was able to show this ability to emote through the lyrics and his vocal prowess at a very young age. People do praise his performance of Who's Loving You, but this performance on Ain't No Sunshine kind of really, to me, rivals that when we're talking about young Michael Jackson's vocal abilities. Other favorite track, I also don't care for You've Got a Friend, but the other songs that I love a lot are obviously I Wanna Be, oh. Fun fact, I have a romance novel coming out in exactly 16 days called I Wanna Be Where You Are. Obviously, the title is inspired by this song, but it's also based on the true story of how I met my wife. So if you and your lover, or just you in general, love romance novels, you definitely should check it out. Album number 3, Music in Me. Overall, I was not impressed with this album at all. Quite honestly, most of it felt extremely safe. And I know it's kind of stupid to say because, once again, it is an album made for a child and a child performer, but just musically, all of it kind of sounded one track minded. The only song that I really liked was All the Things You Are. But other than that, I mean, there wasn't really a lot of bad songs on there, but none of them really stood out. I found myself really listening to this album very passively. So once again, I probably will never visit this album again. Next up, we have Forever Michael. Overall, my thoughts on this album is that it was a very strong installment for MJ, considering that his voice was going through a major transition, and it's the most obvious. Yeah, the previous album you were able to hear his voice kind of changing a little bit, but this one really is so much more distinct. To me, I've always loved Michael Jackson's teenage voice because we can hear the baby Michael Jackson fighting with the young adult Michael Jackson as they clashed and met in the middle. And that's how I describe his voice during this era. And to me, I always loved how he was able to master one octave because his voice was just so limited at the time that he couldn't go too high or even too deep. But he was able to find a lot of flexibility with that one little octave he had. And to me, it produced some of my favorite Michael Jackson performances vocally during that era. As far as the material goes, my favorite songs were We're Almost There, Take Me Back, Dapper Dan, and Just a Little Bit of You. Overall, the material once again is strong, but I have some songs that I don't like at all, which were Dear Michael and Cinderella Stay a While. Those songs are just rather weak for an album that was overall very strong. And this is an album that I would definitely revisit, as it's really fun going back to hearing this because I haven't listened to this album since I was a teenager. Next up, we have Michael, which was released in 2010. Overall, I was very impressed by this album, despite me having my reservations about listening to a posthumous album. My favorite songs were Hollywood Tonight, I Like the Way You Love Me, and Behind the Mask. Those slap so hard. Hold My Hand, as well as I Can't Make It, were songs that I didn't enjoy too much, but they weren't terrible songs by any stretch. Overall, I do love the composition and the production of this album, and I'll listen to it again, quite honestly. So I do appreciate y'all for practically choking me into listening to this album. Last but not least, we have Xscape. Quite honestly, I think I'm going to shock a lot of you with my opinion on this album overall, but I would say my favorite songs were Love Never Felt So Good, A Place With No Name, Slave to the Rhythm, and Do You Know Where Your Children Are. Overall, there's not a single bad song on this album. It's kind of insane. One, I'm upset that I dodged this album for 12 years, but I'm happy that I got it. Like, I'm not mad that this album exists. Once again, I can't even pick a least favorite song. If I had a GUN to my head and had to pick, it would probably be Xscape. And even then, I really like that song a lot. I don't know, like, I can't believe it. This album is really fucking good, and I'm upset that I dodged it once again. But that's it. Thank you for listening to this video. Once again, like, subscribe. Do people still do that on YouTube? Like, like and subscribe. Yeah, whatever. But once again, I have my new book coming out very soon. I Want to Be Where You Are. It's a beautiful love story. It has humor, it has drama, it has messiness, it has a lot of character development. So once again, if you love to read and love romance novels, definitely check it out on the 17th. You can even pre-order it right now. Please do that for a black man. Please help me out. But yeah, all right, water, one.